This year, the club has struck 2 new medals. They are named after 2 of our most amazing, I suppose would be the word, members. They are the Gavin Beahan and Bert Jourdain medals. These medals are not designed to recognise elite achievement. They are designed to recognise extraordinary commitment and dedication to club, as demonstrated through the recipients' effort and participation in athletic competition. They are not designed to recognise volunteers. Simply put, they're designed to recognise people who give absolutely everything they have to their club when they compete. To introduce the Gavin Beahan medal, I'm going to call on an athlete who has been with Gav for more than 10 years. He is an Australian 4x1 and 400 metre relay champion. He's won numerous state relay championships in the 4x1, 4x2 and 4x4. At one time or another, he's been ranked in the top 6 in Australia in 100, 200 and 400 metres. Please welcome Wesley LeBrew.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Wesley. As Matthew said, the Gavin Beahan medal and Bert Jourdain are intended to recognise extraordinary commitment and dedication to the club, as demonstrated through the recipient's effort and participation in athletic competition. The Gavin Beahan medal will recognise a summer athlete who has exhibited these traits each year. Gavin is the longest serving medal at our club. At 67 years of age, he was here at BSAC Canterbury Athletics, and at age 22, he was one of the first 4 members. He all but formed the club along with members Phyllis Gravitas, Peter Crombie, Andrew Crombie, along with early stalwarts John Gordon and Greg Nichols. As a competitor, he represented Bankstown in every single running discipline, from 60 metres through to the marathon, along with every field event in the sport at one time or another. There is not one single athletics discipline in which he has not represented the club. He's won a bronze medal at the Australian Masters Championships in the 3K steeple, running 11 minutes 30. He ran the first ever Sydney Morning Herald half marathon and the first ever Sydney surf. He also has a sub 3-hour marathon recorded against his name. As a coach, he's been nothing short of exceptional. He's taken countless athletes to the New South Wales and Australian titles and several more to international level, most notably Olympian Isaac Antamia, who is here tonight, as well as coaching Chris, Michael Sala and myself to the 4x1 and 4x4 Australian All Sports Championships. He has also guided current athletes in Kimberley Wadden to the Oceania Games and Michael Dunn to the New South Wales Championship over 60. He once turned down the head spring coach for the Canterbury Bulldogs first grade team when approached by Steve Folkes, as to maintain his focus on the squad. 2015 will mark Gavin's 25th consecutive year as coach of the club. He has also found time to be the secretary of the club during the time that Tony Ray was president, the same time that the construction of our current clubhouse was being secured. Also on a personal note, it's been an honour to have known Gav and for him to be my coach. I've known Gav for 15 years and as Matthew said, he's been my coach for almost 10 years now. In my experience, he has been nothing short of amazing, and also, but not only as a coach, but also to look up to in my athletics, but also in my life. He's always been willing to do the early morning and late evening sessions with no thought of himself. He's continuing to display a strong positive attitude to the athletes and to the club to help get the best out of the individual, which is why the medal is named on his behalf. An example of how Gav achieved this some years ago was when a young boy, say 8 or 9, wanted to start training. He was turned away from another coach because he was too young. The coach asked his parents to bring him back later when he had grown up. Not did Gav feel sorry for this boy, but he genuinely wanted to help and he loved to coach. Gavin took him on and coached him, and let's say he did a very good job. That boy did grow up and got faster and faster as the years went on. He won multiple state titles and national titles, and also went to represent Australia at World School Games. Some of you may know him as Frankie Orofino. I can safely say that if Gavin had not stepped in, Frankie would not have accomplished half their things, or would he have taken up running in the first place. It's not like Gav handpicks his athletes to see, yes, that boy or young girl has some potential. He generally wants to help and improve the athlete for their own benefit, nothing more, nothing less. It's one of his famous lines that he starts every season with, if you guys are happy and do well, then I'm happy. It is with this attitude that Gav brings to this training squad a relaxed culture, however, a strong work ethic which not only applies to his athletics, but work and personal life. He has always enforced a culture of athletics will always be there, but your study comes first. And I think with all parents, if you have a coach like that they are pretty happy that you're enforcing a strong character trait and work ethic for their children. If there was one thing that I've learned most of Gav, then that's discipline. A skill that is transferable and which I've applied to my life. And to you, Gav, I thank you. Congratulations, Gav. I could not think of anyone else who is more deserving of this medal. I know I speak on behalf of our squad, but I can't thank you enough for the time, effort and guidance you have given us over the years. It is something that I will treasure for the rest of my life, and I hope that if any athlete does come to Beansdown, they'll have the same experience that I've had. Thank you.
Thanks, Wes. It's unusual. I remember when I first started in the club with the Builders Careers looking around, 22, don't know much about athletics. And you'd start off with your 100 metres and work into all the events and you'd cover everything. The first year he said he entered in the New South Wales Championships. I said, I don't think so, I'm not up for that. He said, well, I don't think I'm good enough. And he said, well, athletics isn't about good enough or standards, it's about participation. And that set the tone of my athletics for good. It's about, and you have to remember that with athletics, when you're any youngster or seniors, when they front up for state championships, the odds are they'll face the winner of the whole championships in their heat, or if it's a cross country or road race. The top runners are there, and they have to face that, and it's very. So it's a tough sport, and whoever the medal is presented to, they've faced all that, and it's not. There are rewards for all the people who aren't winning it all the time, and it was when we come to the cross country. There's only me and Bills for the first year, and we hunted around to find out. And most of our races with Western Suburbs, as running 4 backstand sports, we didn't change clubs or anything. And we've seen the season out there and the state championships. And your rewards are I think it's a half marathon or a 25k at the end of the season. And we lined up for that, and at those days you'd only have between 30 or 40, maybe 50 top in the thing. And this race was, it was a who's who of athletics. You had Albie Thomas and David Power, there's John Farrington. These are all world record holders and represented Australia at Olympics, and there was a stack of who's who. And I made up my mind, I said, I'll go with these guys for 100 metres or so. And anyhow, it was a bit of a talk fest for all these guys. I was talking all the way. It was all the way out, so I really stuck with it. Halfway I'll do me or whatever, as long as I can. We got out to halfway, and it was really good to see these guys when they turned this line back. You know, they all grew about a foot and they flew home. It was all over the talking. But that's not the story. Years later, and I was coaching, and we invited down to the AIS for some talks, and there's all these line of rooms, and they'd have the distance runners in one room, and the sprinters, and then the throwers, and someone else in the other room, and they'd give you a talk for 45 minutes, and they'd let you out to talk what they said, have a cup of tea, talk what they said, and then go back and answer questions. And anyhow, I was out having a cup of tea in one of these 15-minute breaks, and Albie Thomas walked over, and one of the heroes of one of the guys I wanted to run with in that race so long ago, and it was hard to find out what was happening in athletics then. You'd get the telegraph out and it worked, used to work down in Botany, and you'd get the telegraph and all you'd see for any of the Australian things, you'd just see, there's Lausanne, racing in France somewhere, Lausanne, first to be Clark, Australia, WR, and a time, and that'd be all the information you'd have. There's no internet, no nothing. So but the Melbourne papers had something, so you had to knock off work and race up the Regent Street. These double-decker buses had a platform out the back, there's no doors. They'd race into the traffic and jump on this thing, because they'd stop at, I'd get to Crown Street and be all traffic. They'd have to jump off the bus and you'd race up to the country platform at Central and you could get the Melbourne papers, and that's where the whole story would be. And you'd have to run back the other end to get your platform 22 to get the train to Bankstown, But, and then this guy, when he come up and he said, how you going? How's your coach? How's your athletes going, And they had tears in my eyes, and this bloke, after all that time, still recognising. And there's a lot of rewards from though winning these major championships but participating in it. I noticed and has rewards, and I had a good friendship there with that race. And I hope whoever wins this medal today gets those rewards. It's something to treasure all for a long time. And
The inaugural recipient of the Gavin Beahan Medal has been participating in athletics since the age of 4. She joined Bankstown in 2009 and has been with her coach, Mal Baker, for 17 years. She was originally a 400 metre hurdles runner, in which she won the Australian Championship in 2005 and silver in 2006. Since joining Bankstown, however, she's moved to the heptathlon. The heptathlon, of course, involves 7 different athletics disciplines, contained within the one event: 100 metre hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200 metres, long jump, the javelin and the 800. After, in her own words, having taken a few seasons to master all 7 events, she placed 2nd in the New South Wales Championships in 2009 and 6th in the Australian titles. In 2010 she placed 7th at Nationals and unfortunately missed due to injury in 2011 and 2012. However, 2013-14 has been her best season by far. In winning the bronze medal at the New South Wales Championships with a personal best performance of 4,600 points, she competed at the Australian Capital Territory Championships and won that title with another personal best of 4,703 points. Heartbreakingly, she tore her hamstring just 2 weeks before the Australian titles. Her ability is epitomised by her results in the individual disciplines themselves, competing against athletes who specialise in solely those events. This year at the New South Wales Championships, the 28-year-old placed 6th in the javelin, throwing a personal best of 33.42 metres. She also made the final of the Blue Ribbon 100 metres, the most prestigious event in athletics, placing 9th in another personal best performance of 12.20 seconds. However, what has earned this young lady this honour tonight is her unwavering commitment to representing our club. In track and field, where so often we hear that athletes just aren't ready to compete yet, her participation numbers are staggering. Whilst the most committed distance runners in the club compete 10 times a year and win a championship competition, and an excellent participation rate in summer is considered to be 5 or 6 rounds of the Treloar Shield, her name appears on the results sheet between 35 and 40 times every summer season. When it comes to the sheer number of events that she competes in, she leaves all others in the club simply for dead. It is a great privilege to ask Gavin to present the inaugural Gavin Beahan Medal to Karen Weselenko.